On with the show. We still have 2 more virtual speakers this morning, and then we're going live. This is one of the things about hybrid, is you have to also work around time zones. So our Americans are in the morning and our Europeans are in the afternoon. So we have 2 fantastic sessions coming up. A lot of talk about the metaverse first. There's been a lot of talk about the metaverse. Concerts happening all over the place in Roblox. So I'm delighted that we have coming all the way from the US, hopefully by the power of the internet. There he is. Hey, John, how are you? So John is the head of music for Roblox. I mean, this is possibly the coolest job title in the world. John, who are you? Where are you? And what do you tell your family you do for a living?
Hello, Jasper. I like your, was it Shanghai Tang you're rocking today?
It's actually Shenzhen Tang. I had it made in Shenzhen, not Shanghai.
There we go. So coming to you live from Nashville, Tennessee, Music City, USA. It is 9:05 p.m. So yeah, I work at Roblox, and I think I have kids who are 10 and 11. So explaining to them what I do is a little easier because they're Roblox obsessed. And like that dad runs music, so I get lots of requests for upcoming artist events and what we should and shouldn't be doing. So yeah, excited to be at the event.
We're talking about gaming and music, so let's totally humanize you first. What was your first game, John?
I think probably back in the day in the arcades, it would probably have been a Pac-Man or Dig Dug, that kind of era, and then on a Sinclair Spectrum probably was something like Football Manager, back in the day, being a Brit.
Fantastic. Now, just for everyone's knowledge, Asia is not foreign to you. You lived in Hong Kong, right?
I did. I started my career working for BMG in the 90s, and worked in Hong Kong, and then we moved our office to Tokyo, and also lived in Seoul, and before that lived in Beijing. So yeah, I have and lived in Singapore. So have a soft spot for the region.
Very good. Well, hopefully we can get you here in person next year. So look, lots of talk about the metaverse, lots of talk about shows going on with Roblox. What's really exciting in Roblox land at the moment?
Yeah, I think we just came off a good, just Roblox again for the uninitiated. We came off a good third quarter. So just to set the stage, around 48 million daily active users, about 11 billion hours of sort of engaged time on platform. And again, we are a UGC platform, so creators creating all the magical experiences on the platform, and we're on track to give around $500 million out to that creator community. So from a music perspective, you know, we've had an interesting year and a half. Last year was year 0. This is year 1. And we've been activating around events, so ephemeral events. We have virtual concerts, we've done NARS, and recently 21 Pilots. We have launch parties, which are more video-based events. So we've done Why Don't We and KSI, Zara Larsson, Royal Blood, and recently just did Ty Verdes. So lots of concerts and events. And then we most recently bowed a new format called listening parties, which were ways that artists can debut where it's hard to find or to get anyone to realize that new music comes out every Friday. So this is a great way for artists to connect and release new music directly within Roblox games. So we did a release with an artist called Poppy, this cool independent artist on Sumerian. And she debuted her album in 9 Roblox games and ended up getting 4 times as many streams on those 9 experiences as she did across all her DSPs. So we're experimenting on the kind of ephemeral event side, and then permanent worlds will be coming next. So we just started a festival world with Insomniac around their EDC event. So that's like a permanent festival world. And then, yeah, more brands will be launching in 2022. So lots going on.
So what's a permanent? Permanent world just means it's permanent. It's constantly on?
Yeah, so the events are usually ephemeral, where they're up maybe for a week and a half. And then the permanent worlds, think about maybe the older metaphor of apps or websites. So these are permanent worlds that'll be existing on the platform, where if you're a fan of maybe a DSP, a Spotify or an Apple or a radio brand or a venue or an artist or a label or a kind of music, CPG brand, magazine brand, any kind of brand related to music, expect to see those permanent worlds starting to exist on the platform. So our community, whatever they're into, from trip hop to K-pop to hip hop, there'll be a place to kind of hang out and in some cases like have music educational experiences or remixing experiences or check out events or kind of visual playlisting, all kind of fun games around music. So yeah, lots of permanent experiences coming. And then obviously virtual merchandise, or as we call it, Virch. It's been kind of, again, year one for that. So we'll be opening up that to more artists in 2022.
So if I'm an artist, is it easy to produce a live show in Roblox? What's the process? How do I do it?
Yeah, I think so. Like any new platform that comes along, the best advice is to go in, check it out, sign up for a profile, and kind of get your avatar set up. And I think the Poppy example, she didn't have her own bespoke world, but she got a huge amount of value by doing meet and greets and turning up in different games and playing, collabing with influencers. So there's a lot you can get done even without having your own bespoke world, by again connecting with the community, hanging out, every Friday or whenever you want, just tweeting or letting your community know that you'll be on Roblox. So I think that's a kind of step one. And then if you do want to build something bespoke, we have 9+ million developers who I'm sure many of them maybe are fans of your music. If you're an artist, so maybe they could help you build something, almost like the beginnings of the web. A lot of the first websites were built by, super fans, and they became the webmasters and then became the digital managers and then started working at labels. So it's a new era. But yeah, we only really we have again close to 50 million people coming every day, and we only really have like a handful of artists on the platform. So it's a good opportunity to, I think, get going and experiment.
Did you say only have 50 million people every day? So people, I mean, it's really going to where the fishes are swimming, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you're thinking about your audience and where they're spending time, they're spending 2 to 3 hours on the platform, every day. So, exactly, fish where the fish are. And then I think the nice thing is, Roblox is really ushering in this new era of kind of the social era of the music business, where artists and fans can connect in these unprecedented ways, which unlocks new forms of kind of self-expression and creativity and significant new revenue streams. So that artist-fan connection, where if you go onto a DSP, you don't expect, if you're listening to Foo Fighters, to have Dave Grohl start chatting with you. But, when Zara appears on platform, she can literally go and chat directly with her fans. A lot of the fans are doing little avatar selfies, with her and posting it to social media. So that fan-artist connection is exciting for the artist and obviously super exciting for the fan, and that unlocks all kind of collaboration opportunities as well creatively.
So, John, just bear with me 1 second. I'm being shouted at on a teleprompter to sit down. I've been standing up talking to you, so just excuse me for 1 second while I take a seat. There we go. Not sure why, but I've been told twice, and I'm not very good at taking orders. So what about an event like this? Could we do Music Matters in Roblox?
Yeah, I think so. Roblox is now, again, not just for games. It's now being used for music and entertainment, and we just had a big announcement around education push and work. So it's really a platform where, again, we can kind of have a mirror of things we do in the real world, in the virtual world, with our virtual versions of ourselves. So we do a lot of internal Roblox events already on Roblox, not being too meta. So we'll have our holiday party in the real world, but also on Roblox. And there's new voice chat technology that we're just releasing. You'll soon be able to have your avatar where you can move in the same way we're moving. The avatar will be able to kind of match kind of facial movement and it actually feels more and more, I think natural to see you virtually kind of go up, strike up a conversation, go to a virtual, bar, have a chat and have that, experience where we can't literally be together, but we can be together virtually on platforms like Roblox. So sure, we'll shoot for next year.
So just while you're there, if there are any questions for John here, please do get ready. We're going to throw to the floor. Sometimes, John, we get lots of questions. Sometimes they're waking up. We'll see. Hopefully we get some questions today. Okay, so if I want to produce an event on Roblox, how do I do it?
So the platform, we have these obviously tools for developers to use, and a lot of the developers are younger or historically have been younger. So there's a studio on Roblox. So not saying that it's so easy that anyone can do it, but you can have a go in studio. It's pretty easy to create experiences. So if you want to have a go there, and then we obviously have a community of millions and millions of developers who are hobbyists, and some are very, very good, and some are hobbyists. So they could help you do something again if you're an artist or a manager or want to start creating. And then there are more professional studios that are coming out. If you have a bigger project, that we're always happy to connect people with, who can build more sort of higher end bespoke experiences. So there's kind of the gamut from getting something up yourself to working with the community to working with more sort of professional developers.
So do we have questions for John here? We got the global head of music for Roblox, hottest story in music right now. We have a question here. Is the microphone still at the back of the room? Here he comes. He didn't learn, did he? We have a question, John. So if you can hear it, great. If not, I'll repeat it for you.
Sounds good.
Hi, John. Jamie here. So massive. I've got 3 children, 2 of which are 13 years old, so they're constantly on Roblox, and it's fascinating to watch them participate in that experience with all their friends. From my more adult perspective, I'm seeing a lot of other persistent worlds that we can inhabit and move into and out of. My question to you is, what's Roblox's view and your views on portability of the Roblox experience into adjacent metaverses like Decentraland or some of the crypto-based systems? Do you ever see any connection with those spaces, or is it kind of march forward with the Roblox mission?
Yeah. Well, first of all, what's up with all the Brits in Asia? Nice to meet you, Jamie. So I think we've got close to 200 million people on the platform. So I think we have our work cut out to really create this safe, civil, exciting, creative set of tools for our own community. I think 20 plus years ago I was a carrier guy, and I think there was more friction there for the different networks to connect because they were more segregated by region and geography, and I think that forced people where you couldn't in the old days text to people on different carriers, at least in the US. So I think with the larger networks that we have now, we're definitely open, and we don't see ourselves as the metaverse. We'd love to see more happen, but I think we have a lot of work, Jimmy, to do on our own platform right now. So the focus is really improving the experience for our creators and users, and then obviously as other opportunities are presented outside to integrate and have portability, we'll obviously definitely consider them.
Thank you.
Any other questions for John?
I think while someone else is stepping up, Jasper, I think on that notion of like NFTs, so we do have on Roblox what we call limiteds. So there are a form of kind of NFT-like experiences where items can go on sale. Virtual merchandise, we think, is a huge opportunity for near-term opportunity for the Asian music business, all the music business, for artists and everyone. So you can have a virtual item be on sale for a limited amount of time and then be tradable. So that's been a format on the platform for a while, and we're looking to improve that. So there are NFT-like opportunities on Roblox already, just as an FYI.
So certainly very exciting times. John, I know you've mentioned quite a few things about what's coming up next, but what are the challenges that you're facing at the moment? What are the challenges, and how are you facing them?
I think we went from being I kind of started around like the end of 2019 to going into 2020. It was more explaining to people what Roblox was and what the opportunities could be. I think now it's somewhat switched to being a kind of supply-demand imbalance where we're trying to find more kind of development partners to meet the demand. So we want to make sure we can be responsive to as many different people who are, and partners who are looking to build on Roblox. So that's one challenge. We're always looking for more. So if anyone in the audience is listening, if you are an adjacent developer and would like to consider Roblox, we're definitely looking for more partners in that regard. I think, as the platform itself is evolving, we're always trying to have our roadmap. So we want to release, we talked at our Investor Day about Avatones, like a new short clip kind of virtual merchandise item, little short clips of music. So I think we're always trying to get our roadmap of ideas out into the world, working with our engineering team. So that's always a challenge to make sure we can keep innovating quarter to quarter. And, beyond that, I think it's continuing to let the industry know that this is definitely something new. This is something new and exciting. It's this social era. So you had Ed on previously, and I know some other Read guys are knocking around. So I think it's an interesting time for everyone to understand the new landscape from a commercial and rights perspective, to make sure that we can take an opportunity, or artists can take an opportunity and labels to reach this new audience in an authentic way, which may be slightly different to how things have been done previously. So, lots of good new platform challenges, but, definitely lots of opportunities, I think, to work with more partners next year and the year after.
You mentioned earlier that it's mostly, the way you put it was, it's young people who are really getting involved. With the accessibility of Roblox and how easy it is to just switch it on and there you are. For that generation, could this be a replacement for live?
So I think, again, I was in Lisbon a couple of weeks ago with Zara Larsson, this Swedish pop star. And we were talking a lot about this exact issue. So I think artists love performing live. So they love that excitement of connecting in a room with fans. I think the metaverse, if you imagine a screen, so imagine Zara is all mocapped or up, but not in a weird suit, but just the sensors are over her normal performance clothes. She's on tour right now. And imagine there's like a 180 screen in front of her, and there are little avatar faces kind of looking back at her in a live format. She can see little bubbles where Jasper goes from Singapore, "What's up, Zara? Huge fan." She then shouts out going, "Hey, Jasper, thanks for coming." That's an experience you would never really get at a live event, right? Because artists, even if you're on the front row, it's good for the fan, but you're really just closer to the same thing that everyone else is seeing. So I think the future that we see is kind of more intimate live experiences. There's a great new venue in London, Camden Palais is now Coco. So I got a hard hat tour around that last week in London. And that has a lot of like smaller immersive rooms where I feel live events will be smaller, more immersive, and kind of integrated with virtual, where we can reach millions of people. And then maybe there's an experience for 150 people or 500 people in a room. But I think large stadium type events are going to have a tougher time, justifying the kind of higher ticket price over the years. So yeah, I think more of a blend of integrated smaller venues and kind of virtual experiences. And also, we've had Glasgow and I think the planet in terms of touring, right? So we can help artists reach millions of people on a weekend versus a carbon footprint of traveling around the world for like 2 years. I think artists are also becoming more aware of. And I think the general fact is that, ticket prices, we all talk about going to shows, but they're still a very elite, average ticket price is like $90. So it's still quite elite. Not everyone is near somewhere where they can go and see their artists perform. So this, for artists, allows them to connect with even more fans that they want to reach around the world who maybe would never get to see them in a cost-effective and intimate, immersive way. So I think it becomes a nice integration with that live plus the kind of virtual experience, more creative opportunities and certainly more commercial opportunities.
Great answers. We're running short on time. We've got a couple of questions now. So Karen Lim has asked a question online. Now, she's actually asked two questions, but the first one is it possible to have online music festivals on Roblox? You've already said it is, because you're doing EDC. But her second question is, can I create my own world in Roblox?
Yeah, so yes, Karen, you can. If you go to we have a studio area of Roblox, and the whole point of the platform is to have easy to use tools for creativity. So go in there and have a go at building, and hopefully you can build your first world and then send it to me. We'll see if it's see if we can get something going. If it's music related. So Jasper, before we hit time, just a little plug as we've got the Asian audience. We are looking, I think on Roblox we've done more kind of US, European, and kind of UK artists and bands. But for 2022, we're definitely looking to expand that to more global artists. So we're looking to work with artists from India, Korea, Japan. We did do a Chinese event with our partner Tencent, recently. But so we do have an Asia push. So I'd love to hear from partners over there, labels and managers, etc. as we move into 2022.
What a great story. Now there is one question. It's coming from Stephen Dowler, and so I have to let him ask the question because he asked more questions than anyone else. Stephen, from Monster Cat.
Thanks, Jasper. Hey, John, how are you? I just was curious. I noticed you guys have been doing some rollouts recently with ways that you empower your creators. Hey, I love that. That was everything right there. Thank you. And so one of the cool things that I noticed is you're allowing artists to give royalties on their merchandise sales. I believe I read something about that recently. I'm wondering, what are some of the other things that you kind of have brewing in terms of ways that you're helping creators sustain themselves? Whether that's, I don't know if, right, you can kind of get where I'm going with that.
I get where you're going. Yeah, nice to meet you. And as you can see, I have my little Monster Cat turntable and Monster Cat in the background. So we enjoy the partnership with Monster Cat, allowing our users to add great music to their experiences. So yeah, I think at the moment you called out virtual merchandise. I think Zara in her article in the BBC was implying that that was potentially even more lucrative than the money she was receiving from streaming revenue. So already Virch is proving to be a way that artists can sustain, by direct connections with fans. In 2022, expect more experimentation. Again, the platform is open to do things like maybe paid virtual meet and greets and virtual tickets and other forms of virtual merch. We're looking to roll out again these avatones, which are like music-based short clips that people can express themselves through music, which would be a paid-for experience. There are other ways in general if artists are wanting to, again, launch gaming experiences that are not merch related, which is how the general community makes money across the bigger games like Adopt Me that artists can also take advantage of. So yeah, it's kind of, we have a Robux for any parents in the room who feed children or their Robux allowance. So it's a relatively flexible system. So as much as anyone has new ideas about how to monetize directly with their fan base, we hopefully should be able to support it.
John, we're out of time. My last question is always what's exciting for you right now, but literally everything's exciting for you right now. So we missed that. But what you've said is, it really is going fishing where the fishes are swimming. These permanent worlds sounded interesting. 50 million users a day. The place where artists and fans connect. It's mirroring real life. It's new. It's exciting. People will still love live. But you are open for business for Asian artists. So music companies, artists in the room. John, thank you so much for joining us today from the US. I'm sorry we're running a little bit late, but hopefully we can see you here in person next year.
Be a pleasure. Thanks for having me, Jasper. Take it easy.
Thank you.